Now, bro, I know it's gonna make people kind of crazy, but I don't want to spend the time that it would take. Actually, low key, I wonder if I could do this. I'll be honest. Okay, so I'm going to do more thigh. I'm going to add thigh jiggle to all of my thick characters in MVC2. That being Chun Li, the strongest woman in the world, Rogue. She's practically wearing a freaking bathing suit, or just her outfit's fully spandex. Psylocke's literally wearing a onesie. All of the characters who have really thick legs and are wearing super exposing clothing, I'm going to add a little bit of jiggle to their legs, just because it just makes sense physics wise. And I'm debating over whether or not if I want to record it. I'm gonna just jump in. I'll do a little bit of work here, and then I'll see. It depends on how fast I can do this. So I just simply open up my little folder here to look through my characters. I'm going to scroll down to the nearest female character that I can find for the vanilla roster. I've already actually tweaked majority of the modded characters. BB Hood, nope, jailbait. So I'm gonna move down. Let's see who else we got in here. Blackheart. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, man. Just kidding. Black Widow, Cable, Cammy. Cammy's a default character, but I don't know if that's default Cammy because there's two versions of Cammy. Also, Cammy doesn't have big legs. Cammy's kind of skinny, so maybe it's not like necessary to give her like any leg jiggle. Even though Cammy's known for her butt in Street Fighter, I'll skip her though. Keep moving. Chun Li. I've already actually tweaked Chun Li. I tweaked her butt, her thighs, her breast. Chun Li's already like physic induced. I'll load her up though just to like showcase it, I guess. Pretty sure she's one of the ones I've already tweaked. So for Chun Li has what I call the works, which is basically I added a wind blowing effect to her dress. I added breast physics. I added thigh physics. I added butt physics. I added a blinking animation to her eyes. I added physics to those buns that she wears on her hair. I added physics to the bangs on her head. She's like Chun Li's just decked out in animation tweaks, and she looks beautiful. But the recent tweaks that I made for Chun Li is for her thighs. She's got a little bit of thigh jiggle now. This is just her idle animation. I'm just gonna play it, and you'll be able to catch it. Just pay close attention to her butt and to her thighs. I'm gonna click play here. You can see it there. Her butt and thighs just kind of fall into place. You know, as in physics, with flesh. I'll slowly click through it so you can see it. Just watch her thighs and butt here. Very subtle, right? Very subtle, but it looks amazing, dude. It looks so good, dude. And honestly, in game when you're playing with her in MVC2, you don't even notice it. You can't tell. It just looks it's so natural and it's so quick that you just your brain doesn't pick up that these things are happening with her thighs and butt, which is what I want. As you see there, I want it to be at a in a manner so that you're not paying attention to it. I also want to do that low key with her breast. See her breast, she's got super bouncy breast. I want to do that with her breast too, but well, Street Fighter Five is known for like Gynaxing. Street Fighter Four low key, but there's the characters are very bouncy in the Street Fighter franchise, so that's what I was shooting for. I was trying to overhaul Chun Li and make her more aesthetically appealing, and at the same time make her more authentic to the recent games. And this is what I ended up with. I admit it's kind of distracting having her breast bounce that hard initially. It's a little distracting, but then again, I have a penis, so like it makes sense that I will focus on that a little more than I should. Maybe low key I could reduce. Maybe I could reduce some of the frames here. Maybe I could take this frame out. And is that it? Press up, press down, press back and play. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe if I take that one frame out, let's play it. Slightly better. That's slightly better. I'll save it out. I'll leave it like that. Sorry, I'm drinking water. But yeah, I digress. The whole focus of me showing you this character right now is just so you can see her butt and her thighs fall into place, which is what I was shooting for. I like that. Looks amazing. Barely noticeable too. Oh, it's there too. So I tweaked her crouch too. If you pay attention to her thighs, I'm just gonna play it out. Just watch her thighs and butt. See him kind of fall in place there. Now I'm gonna slowly click through it. See it? It's barely noticeable, man, but it looks so good. It makes her look so soft. That's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. Chun-Li has been tweaked. So I'm gonna save it. I'm going to go to my sprites. Say on sprites. I always do that. Creature habit. I'm gonna close it out. I'm going to open up the next character. That's good stuff. I think low key I tweaked someone else in the roster too. I just don't remember. So I'm just gonna scroll down and yeah, if I come across a female character, female vanilla character, I'm gonna open her up. I'm gonna tweak her. So I'm just scrolling here. I apologize in advance if I skip one. Felicia? Would Felicia technically count as well? Felicia thick all over, but I don't know about her legs. Let's see. Mm, mm. Nah, I don't think Felicia has enough leg compared to Chun Li and Rogue and Psylocke. Like Felicia's kind of malnutrition in her legs. Yeah, so I'm not gonna bounce her legs. I'm good. I'm good. I'll pass on her. Let's just move on. She's already kind of gratuitous in design anyway. She's one of those jarring characters that are just too anime. I'm just keep it moving. My boy Gambit. Looking. I'm just hunting for a female character I can tweak here. Iceman, Aroa, that's not default. Ivy, that's definitely not default. Jill, I think this is base game Jill. Let's look. Jill wears military. She wears military pants, so she's not gonna. Nah, she's not. And I don't think she has enough leg to like for me to be playing around with her physics like that. So I'm just gonna move along. Jen, Joe, Jubilee, definitely not Jubilee. Gerald Bate, Jury Han. Jury Han's not default. Just keep moving. Lilith. Lilith isn't default. That's I'm thinking about Morgan. Okay, keep moving. My low key I want to tweak mine, but mine's not default. Bounce her legs around a little bit, give a little bit of give a little bit of movement. Michelle Hart, she's technically default, but she's not a default character. She's an assist character from the first game. So she can't really Morgan. Let's do Morgan. Morgan's infamous for having like a cute butt, but I don't think she has a lot of leg. Mm, I don't know. She definitely packing up top, but I don't know about her legs, man. I guess I guess I can give her some bounce. I can give her some bounce, man. Let's jump over. I'm not sure. She's kind of on edge, but she's thick. She's thick in the legs, dude. She's packing. So I'm gonna take this sprite, just duplicate it, and then I'll name this. I gotta be careful here with my naming convention. Let's switch it up. I'm gonna rework on threes, but for this set of threes, I'm going to do. Let's start out with a 7. That should be a safe. That should be a safe number. All right, so I'm gonna start out with 777. I'm gonna open her up. So I'm in here. Hmm. So this is gonna be the first, pretty much the first frame drop that I'm gonna do here. And for the first frame drop, think about making her butt jiggle. Actually, for the first frame drop, I definitely want her thighs to fall in place. So I'm gonna click. I'm gonna get just about like right here on the leg. I'm just gonna slightly shift it up like that. I'm gonna do some trim work. I get a little artsy fartsy here, but I'm gonna do some trim work here so that I'm specifically moving the part of the thigh that I want moving. Okay, and there we go. There's a slight shift on the thigh. Be careful there. Okay, what else? For this part of the thigh, I want a thigh to kind of, I want a little bit of movement on the thigh here too. which I have to be careful because this has to be the most subtle movement ever. Actually, let's save it, close it, reopen it. Now snag this part of her thigh here. Control C, Control V. I'm just going to slide it up. Keep in mind, this is just falling in place. These are like things, soft. These are soft, bouncy things just falling into place on our body. Just as a heads up, I'm not trying to tweak anything outside of that. Okay, taking the eraser and I'm just trimming around, making sure I'm not moving or shifting anything I don't want to. That should be it, man. Make sure there's no artifact in there. Okay, so this is the first frame. So the top of her thigh and the top of her thigh, it should all just fall into place now. I could actually trim it more. I don't want like super movement for this thigh specifically because it's not necessary. It's a little, it's a bit excessive. Make sure I don't snag her butt too, even though some butt movement is kind of nice. All right, I'll leave it like this. I'm gonna save it, close it. So there you go. There's my first frame drop. I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna take the initial frame here. I'm gonna duplicate that frame. And then for this duplicate, remember I worked on 777, so this is going to be 776. So all I have to do is just memorize the numbers that I used. I'm going to open her up. And for this is going to be the frame that's following the initial frame that I just made. So for the initial frame, the top of her thigh falls into place for both of her legs. And then this is technically going to be the third frame that I plug in, which it'll make sense later when I start plugging things in. You'll get it. So what I'm going to do here is, since they're falling into place, I want a little bit of movement for the bottom of her thigh here, just for this leg. So I'm going to copy this. Control C, Control V. I'm going to slide it down. She's just going to have a slight bounce here. It's not going to be the whole thigh. That will look gross. I'm going to take the eraser, and I'm just going to trim it like this, because I don't want all of the meat on the bottom of her thigh shifting. I think this will get the point across. Be careful here. I don't want the top of her thigh shifting at all. And low key, just the bottom part here should be moving. That should look perfect. I trust it. There shouldn't be any artifact in there or like any stray pixels and stuff outside of what I just shifted here. So it should be fine. So I'm going to save it, close it. Okay, so she's got a little bit of bounce right here. And trying to think. Okay, I wonder if I could bounce her butt. That would be kind of nice to like bounce her butt a little bit. I'm going to open her up. So physics wise, the soft meat on her legs is really on the bottom. It's really on the bottom of her leg. That's really it, like her hamstring. And for here, but given the way she's standing, right, because her leg is technically straight, she's sitting all of her weight on the top of her calf, which means this part of her leg should be flexing. If it's flexing, it can't be physic induced, which means it's solid. This part of her leg is going to be very solid, which is why I only bounced the bottom part of her thigh, which is technically resting, given the way it's bent, the way her leg is bent. There's no weight sitting on top of this calf here. Just a little bit of physics for you. So basically, the only thing that technically should move is the bottom of this thigh. And if I were to move anything else on her body, the only thing that's not flexing below her torso in this stance would be her glutes or her butt. So that means I could shift her butt if I wanted to, which I want to. But the shift, here's a kicker. The shift I'm going to do is a very slight. It's going to be an extremely slight movement. So I'm going to take this, just this part. Control C, Control V. I'm going to tap down. Then I'm going to take the eraser and I'm going to carefully trim like this. And what I did there is just I gave her a very small, very slight bounce to her butt, just to the bottom of it. See it? Barely noticeable. But in game, it should look good. It should get the point across that she's got a soft butt, man. It's freaking Morgan, dude. Now that's all that matters, man. Just getting that point across. I think that's it. That's all I need to do there. Even though low key, I want to see what this looks like. I just tapped it with the eraser. Yeah, I like that. Just a slight shift. Very, very minute. Save it out. Close it out. What was it? 776. So 776 is 3777. Okay, so I'm going to jump into the animation. Open up the animation. This is for a physics drop, remember? And actually, I can do replacement for this physics drop. It's working on 999, right? 999. I hope I didn't do the wrong frame when I did that. I think maybe I did the wrong frame. So 999, I know it's 777 now. And it's technically this. So I have an idea. So 3330 for the index. So I'm going to jump back over this. Find the one that has the butt physic on it, which is this. I'm going to jump inside of it. I'm going to snag this butt. Just the butt tweak. Actually, the leg tweak too. So let's get it all. Control C. I'm going to close it out. Jump back over. Or maybe it's 330. 330 is definitely the one I need to properly replace. So for 330, I'm going to jump over to 330, make a duplicate. Name that duplicate the proper name, which was 776. And then I'm going to open her up. And then I'm going to put on top of it the new animation. Which luckily it lines up. Yeah, it looks like it lines up perfectly. Awesome. So that's less work for me. Save this, close it out. So 776. So I have to go refine the old 776, which is which is the broken one. Not broken, but it's the one that's not done correctly. All right, and then I'm going to delete this one. So I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, and that should be it. So open up the animation. I'm going to make my little tweaks here. Very first frame should be 777. Third frame should be 776. That should be it. Apply, close. So she should have a slight jiggle on her thighs and her butt. It should be barely noticeable. And these are fast frames too. I'm going to play it. There you go. I'm going to slowly click through it now. Do notice something there I could tweak. I'll tweak it in a second. Notice a mistake I made. Black. And it's all black. Yeah, it's all black. That shouldn't be too much of an issue there. Just remember to take it over on a frame. I'm gonna edit that now so I don't forget. So from what I saw here, this goes over like that. And that should be it. Save it, close it, jump over. Let me toggle through it, take a look. Yeah, that's better. So there we go. Morgan has a little bit of thigh bounce. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through the entire roster here. And I'm just going to just add physics on the softer, more exposed body parts of all of the female characters. I'm going to do it in a manner that your eye just simply can't catch it. Because that's the point. You're not supposed to like focus on it. That looks really good too. God, Morgan's so soft and pretty, bro. Alright, that's it. This video has been pretty long. It's been almost 20 minutes just to do that little tweak. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna use the videos to do this because as you can see the work is very minor work. Even though it'd be interesting to watch a video that showcases all these tweaks. But I can do these in my leisure. So I'll tweak all of the female characters and I don't know, I'll figure out a way to showcase it. I'll probably just do it for like a normal character showcase or something. Who knows? But again, I'm going to Rumble, so don't get shocked if I have like large gaps of time where I don't post on YouTube. It's likely because I'm posting on Rumble, folks. I'm going to rumble.com. It's a personal choice. Blah blah blah. Morals, ethics, my religion. Like this is just I don't like YouTube, and I don't want you to dislike YouTube too. I just want you to understand. I'm going to go to Rumble. All right. God bless.